The week before I started high school, I was 14, my mom threw a glass at my dad one night. And this was not the kind of home I grew up in. This was not in line with who she was or the way that she behaved or the way she dealt with hard feelings. So it was notable to me. About a week later, I was sitting at the kitchen table and she was making a tea, and we were going to go sit on the porch in the backyard, and we were going to sit and read and have snacks and tea, and we were chatting, and she turned to me and was trying to tell me something and couldn't find the word, and she broke down, absolutely broke down. And this was also not in line with what I knew about how she is in the world. So I immediately said, something's wrong here. Something's really wrong here. I know something's really wrong here. And she couldn't find the word that she was trying to use. It was really strange. So I phoned my aunt and I said, I think we need to take mom to the hospital. Something's wrong. And my aunt came and picked us up and drove us to the hospital, and I called my dad, and he picked up my brother from whatever sport he was at and met us at the hospital, and we found out about a day later that my mom had a brain tumor. The first week that I started high school, she had brain surgery to remove the tumor, and it was biopsied, and we found out that it was a secondary tumor and that she had small cell lung cancer. At that time, they created a treatment plan for her, but told her and my dad that she probably had, 6 months to a year to live. That was a really hard year and a half. She actually survived longer than we expected that she was going to. And on January 1st, 2007, 4 days before I turned 16, my mom passed away in a beautiful hospice full of incredible folks. So that happened, and it was really hard to manage my grief. I was a kid, and I was also the oldest daughter in my family, and I felt a lot of responsibility to take care of my dad and to take care of my brother. My dad met a woman who I've grown to really love a lot, and she moved in, not too long after with her toddler at the time. So I was trying to navigate all this new stuff and also who I was, because I was 16 and I was angry and angsty and really missing my mom. So that's the first half of my story. And the second half of my story is that many years later, my partner and I decided that we were ready to have a baby and to start our family. And we were really excited about that. We'd been really intentional about not starting a family before we really felt that we could do so intentionally. And we expected that we were relatively young and healthy, and that it would be pretty easy. But it wasn't. I had 3 miscarriages. 2 of them were quite early. The second of the 3 was a little bit later. It was right at the very end of the first trimester, and it required multiple interventions to help my body pass that pregnancy after it wasn't viable anymore. And that was a lot too. I call those my bookend losses.